Welcome back to Aurora's podcast. A Filipina's Journey to America, Episode 10. Sorry I was gone missing for more than a week. Thank you for being so patient. As usual, smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And now, without further ado, let's get this podcast going, Episode 10. I asked my Filipina friend, "What do you think should I do?" And she goes,
"Don't worry, if he comes back tomorrow, I will talk to him alone. He'd better not treat you like that anymore, and he'd better not put his hands on you. Go to sleep because it is getting very late."
She went to bed, and I was up all night long because I was still unsure of my life ahead of me. I kept asking myself that night, should I go back to Jack? Would I really be happy being with Jack once again? Should I really do this, and give him another chance? Could I be putting myself in more danger being with him again? Dawn came the next day, and the sun was set to arise anytime soon. I went outside. I felt kind of sad about what is going on with my life. Then shortly after having fresh air from outside, I went to bed, sleep a little for the rest of the dawn. Then comes the daylight. I got up and cooked some breakfast for us. We ate, and while we were about to hit the road after breakfast, there came Jack's truck, parking on her driveway. Of course, blocking our way so that we may not leave the area. Jack stopped and stepped out from his truck and walked toward us. My Filipina lady friend told me to get down and go back inside the house, which I did straight away. Jack followed us. While inside, she offered Jack to sit on the couch, which he refused because he said he was in a hurry. So my lady friend signaled me to go inside the room because she would like to have a civil talk with Jack. So off I went. Since I was inside the room, I didn't hear what they were talking about. When they were done, she then told me to get my stuff ready, and that Jack was waiting for me outside. She goes,
"Don't worry, I made Jack promise to me that he wouldn't hurt you and not to lay hands on you ever."
So I gave her a big hug and thanked her for being so supportive of me, morally and emotionally. Just so you know, I recently heard she passed away only a few years ago. I still to this day thank her so much. She was my angel. Thank you, Filipina lady friend. You are in a better place now. Now I am back in Jack's truck with him. We were driving for a few miles, without saying a word to each other. Finally, when we were closer to Jack's house, he started breaking the ice with me. He goes,
"So, how are you, my darling?"
Still, I hadn't said a word to Jack, because I was still scared of him. You may wonder why I decided to go back with Jack. It is because I had no one else to run to, and I did not want to be a burden with my Filipina lady friend who already had helped me a lot. Though she offered me to stay, I just didn't have the cheek to be a freeloader. Let's go back to the subject where Jack questions me while we are in his truck heading back home. Remember, I still did not answer his initial question. He didn't seem to care, to be honest. However, when we arrived home, he said,
"I understand that you hate me for calling you names. I said I am sorry, and that I would never do that again, I promise."
I went straight to our room and still did not say a single word to him. While I was hanging my clothes and hanging them back up into our wardrobes, Jack helped me out. We are still not talking. When we were done, he then told me to give him some time, to prove to me that he sincerely was sorry. I wanted to tell him what I told him on the phone the other night. But because I knew he was such a self-centered egomaniac and selfish, talking to him would be just in vain. And he wouldn't listen anyway. He is just all talk. Whilst we continued living as husband and wife, I could see that nothing was ever going to change with our situation. I didn't need to psychoanalyze Jack, because he was who he was. Staying and living with him was quite challenging. I did not want to settle down and think, I can't get out. I know I can. I was just waiting for the right time. I treated those moments of darkness as just temporary, or should I say I was just riding a train and just passing through under the tunnel, where it was dark. Only because I knew that at the end of the tunnel I would see some light. I had to be brave and keep my hopes alive. It was the only way to keep my sanity in check. Life must move on. Jack still controlled our finances, taking my hard-earned money and using it for whatever he wanted to use it for. He made damn sure that I had nothing extra left over for myself. I knew what he was doing. He trapped me. He wanted me to be completely dependent on him, and he made me feel that I was worthless. I felt pain, not physically, but emotional pain. I guess at the same token, the pain was my unrequited strength to keep me going, to protect my emotions from further destruction. Next episode, while we were hunting in the middle of the forest and Jack did some awful thing. And I was sobbing so hard and told him to stop what he was doing, and he angrily said to me,
"You better stop crying or else."
"Or else what?" That is all for the day. Please smash the like button and subscribe so that you wouldn't miss the next episode. Thank you for listening to Aurora's podcast, A Filipina's Journey to America. Bye-bye.